Hey, what's up guys? Stardust on here. Today we're going to talk about my tier list for Danganronpa 1 to Havoc. So this is going to be my personal opinion on where the characters rank, which characters I like the most, which characters I dislike. There's going to be only a few characters I really dislike, this game in general. I mean, the Danganronpa franchise is almost known for its good characters, and especially Havoc has the best cast, in my opinion. I mean, I might start off a war with that statement alone. Now, please let's keep it civilized. Everyone has their own favorite characters. Some people dislike certain characters, others will like. So naturally, me and your opinion will disagree, and I think that makes things interesting. I don't mind having a healthy, nice discussion about characters, but please don't be toxic about your opinions. I have my opinions, they're my opinions for a reason. Also, there will be spoilers for the first game and even the characters' portraits. So, if you haven't finished this game yet and plan on even watching a playthrough or something, stop the video right now and come back if you've done playing the game. Because they're great games, I really do recommend them. It's one of my favorite series in general. So yeah, let's actually get started. So these are all the characters. I might forget some names since I play a lot of games and I might not remember the exact names. Let's get started with Leon. Now Leon is a controversial character. This isn't the final placement, by the way. He's a controversial character. He gets killed off pretty early, so you don't get the chance to really know about him, learn about him. But I do really appreciate when you get into more of his free time events, when you get more into the school mode as well. Which, the events aren't canon. But it's still, you know, who he is as a character. If that makes sense. Like, the events don't happen, but they're still akin to how the character is. I think he's an interesting character with all that info given. So, with everything we know about Leon, I think I'll place him high C. He's an interesting character, but definitely not one of my favorites. So I think a C is justified. Chihiro, I just really like a lot. Chihiro is a being that must be protected. Or something like that. But yeah, it is a precious character. Chihiro is really kind. He goes through quite some things in the story. Yeah, very kind. Interesting character design. Their plot twist, I guess, was kind of nice as well. I know, I really like Chihiro as a character, so A tier for me. Mondo, right? Yeah, Mondo. I think I'll have to go with B tier with him. He was very interesting. His choices at times were a bit questionable, but to a certain degree it made sense. Kind of a sad backstory if you look at it. The whole death of his brother and taking the responsibility for it. He's obviously a JoJo reference that earns him plus or negative points, depends on how you look at it. And yeah, I thought he was interesting, but he's definitely not one of my favorites. So, about middle B tier. Taka, I forgot his name. He has a long name. He would be A tier if he didn't get a negative, in my opinion, negative plot change at the end of his story. When he got the white hair and stuff, and he basically fused with Mondo, I think that was very detrimental to his character. I'm gonna place him here, I think. I did like him as a character. He was very ambitious, he was interesting, he was funny at times. He really cared for everyone. I liked him as a character. I especially liked his visual design as well, but they kind of ruined it towards the end, otherwise he would be A tier. F tier. I don't like him at all. Some people do. That's respectable, everyone on his own. I just don't like him. He was just generic, creepy, weeaboo type, otaku. I feel like he's designed to be disliked, and they did a great job at that. I know, I just didn't really like anything about him. Some people do, and that's fine. One of my least liked characters in the franchise. Celeste, it's a hard placement. Her visual design is S tier. I really dig how she looks. Her personality is annoying, but on the contrary, her being annoying makes her an interesting character. Danganronpa would definitely not have been the same game without her. Her execution was nice, I liked her motives for the kill and how she did it. I think she deserves an A tier for sure, based off all these things. I don't necessarily like her, but I do appreciate her as a character, if that makes sense. Kind of like a few characters later in the franchise. She's not one of my favorites, but I do like what she added to the story. It's a shame she kind of died early, but it is what it is. Sakura. I mean, somewhat of an interesting character, but definitely not one of my favorites. I think this is another contender for C tier. She kind of felt poorly written at times. She had more potential that I just never really showed. But yeah, she's definitely just one of the... Not one of the interesting characters in this game, but she's definitely not a bad character. Like in any other game, yeah, it's hard. I don't know how to say this. Basically, I like the design, but not enough to place her any higher. Like, if you ask me who are the most memorable characters in this game, Sakura is definitely not one of the ones I'm listing, but I also dislike her. Now let's get to the whole Toko thing. So initially, she is just very annoying, like not even in a fun way. She's just annoying. Then she gets, especially her free time events help a lot with this character. It reminds me of Tanko, what's her name, in Danganronpa V3. The better you learn, the better you get to know her, the more interesting she becomes, and the more of a better written character she is. If you look at her at the surface level, it's just she's annoying. I do think I'm placing her low A tier. I do really like her character. It's another one of those characters without her the game wouldn't be the same. But she does get very annoying, especially in the beginning. She's hard to like, but I also kind of like her visual design, honestly. Genocider version of her, definitely high A tier. I mean, especially she's one of the characters that carries the spin-off game as well, that also helps, although I'm trying not to include that here. She's just a fun character. She doesn't really feel like she belongs in a way, but that's what makes it fun. Very silly. I know, it's a bit of like a comic relief thing, if that makes sense. I know, I just really liked her. I mean, she's a psychopathic serial killer and she doesn't even try to hide it. I know, it spices up the game in a way, if that makes sense. The protagonist, Makoto. Yeah, I think I'll go for a high B tier. I actually liked him. A lot of people don't like him for just being an average student with no really special qualities. But I think that's what makes him a great protagonist. Because if you're playing this game, most of us, at least me, aren't special, don't have any kind of special skills. Just easy to relate to. I like characters that are easy to relate to as a main character. So I thought he was kind of interesting, so B tier, high B tier works for me. Kyoko. This is one of the hardest characters to place. Not placing her here, by the way. It's just a temporary placement. The anime, Danganronpa 3, really ruined her character in my opinion, but if you look isolated only to Happy Havoc, she was somewhat interesting. I thought she was the final mastermind slash villain. That's my opinion, and I was completely wrong at the time, but that's what I thought. She's very mysterious, somewhat interesting. She feels a bit too robotic or something at times. I don't know how to properly explain it. But she's definitely one of the characters that carried the game. She's not one of my favorites once again. But imagine trying the first Danganronpa game without Kyoko, you can't. So, based off those facts, I'm gonna have to place her somewhat high in the A tier. Not one of my favorites personally, but I can appreciate what she adds to the story. Byakuya, probably one of the most disliked characters out there. I know a good friend of mine, Giacomo, absolutely hates him. If you've watched Yu-Gi-Oh!, he's basically the Seto Kaiba. He could be related to Seto Kaiba. He's a huge spoiled brat that doesn't care about the life of others and just wants to touch the entire game. I just love his character, so I'm not putting them next to each other, by the way, by choice. That's just an accident. But yeah, the game would not be the same without him. I loved him as a character. I loved hating him. He made the entire game so much more fun. Without him, Danganronpa wouldn't trigger Happy Havoc, at least in my opinion, would be half as interesting as it is. But I also did kind of hate him. Really low F tier, like lowest of F tiers of all the games, I think. This is probably my least liked character of the franchise. The more you look into him, the more I hate him. He doesn't add anything of value to the game. He's a bad comic relief character that I don't really like. Other games do this better. He legit talks about selling out Nakoto's, basically his kidney or something to the mafia, I believe, something like that. As well, he's a complete dick. I don't like his design. There's nothing I like about him. I know he has fans, but I'm not one of them. Aoi, I'm not gonna say I dislike her, but I also don't really like her, so it's like a D/C. Not like she did anything wrong, she's just a normal character in a cast full of interesting characters in my opinion. So I think a lower C tier is justified, in this case. Because, well, she's interesting, but not interesting enough. Gonna save this for the last, of course. Sayaka or Sayaka? I thought she was kind of annoying. Now, I'm not gonna hate on her for her actions early in the game, where she basically tried to betray the main character and kill somebody. Because in doing so, she was planning to save the rest and herself, which I can't blame her for. that thing is fully justified. I just don't think she's that interesting as a character. She felt annoying to me. Her visual design is nice, but like her actual character was annoying to me. I'm definitely out of the cast. She's probably my least favorite, but I don't. Well, the 2 non-hate characters, of course, rank below. But like out of the rest of the cast, she's probably least interesting to me. I didn't necessarily dislike or hate her either, so that's D tier. She's like under average, but it's not like she's one of my hated characters. I definitely don't blame her for her actions. I just thought she was a bit annoying in the game, and then she died. If she had more of a redemption arc, maybe like here, where she became more interesting, but yeah, I didn't like it. Of course, this is Bakugo, just like this. Spoiler for if you did. I want you for spoilers already. Junko, oh Junko. Yeah, S tier. She's the face of Danganronpa. I would also put Monokuma here in S tier. There isn't a Monokuma in this template. If Monokuma was here, I would also put him in S tier. Without Junko and Monokuma, this franchise wouldn't be the same. They're perfect villains, their motivations do kind of make sense. She has a lot of power, she's bored, so she's just gonna look for a way to have fun. In this case, forcing people to kill each other. Which is a bit demented, but then you look at other franchises like Saw, where they're literally killing so-called villains, and then they pick somebody who just had a sick day one too many times. Like, yeah. Almost every villain has holes in their plan. At least Junko's kind of makes sense. You have a lot of power, you're bored, what the hell are you gonna do with them? She becomes crazy, and she tries to get a lot of people killed and basically ruins the world. I know, I just really liked her as a villain. She's a fun villain. Don't overanalyze her, otherwise you start asking too many questions and she suddenly starts to not be a great main villain. But yeah, I really liked her as a villain, so yeah, S tier. And these are basically the same character, and I'm just gonna say... tier of her own. Fuck it. Oh wait, this is... tier of her own, I'm a Bakugo simp, fight me. I know, I really like her character. Her ultimate soldier is really interesting. It's a shame we don't get to know the actual ultimate soldier ever. It's probably the most interesting talent if you ask me in the franchise. She's a total cutie, I'm not gonna lie, I'm waifu trash. Sue me. I mean, say about it what you want, it's at least I'm not lying. I'm a bit biased. I really like what they did with her, and like if you get to know her a bit, she becomes an interesting character. I dislike what they did to her in the Danganronpa 3 anime, so I don't use it against her. She also gets a brief cameo in Danganronpa 0, one of the novels you can read. And of course, that's Danganronpa If. Everyone that sims Mukuro knows that, but I already liked her really well before that. I know, I just like her entire concept. I really appreciate this character, and yeah, I'm just a simp. I'm not gonna lie about it. So yeah, I think this is about my this is my tier list. Rankings are within order or within each tier. Yeah, everyone. This is basically she is average. Almost everyone is placed above average because I do really like this cast. A lot of people say 2 or V3 have better casts. I disagree. I think this one is the best one, and it's fine to disagree about that. I won't get mad. Just know that I do appreciate almost all characters besides these 2 in this game. So I could as well just place this in S tier because it's also Mukuro. But yeah, I'm a Mukuro simp. That's one of the things you should know. I really like Junko as a villain. But yeah, 6 characters in A tier should say enough about how much I like this cast. They're a really cool mix of colorful characters that have really nice traits and stuff. I know, I just love the cast of this game. It's my favorite Danganronpa game for a reason. It used to be 2, but after revisiting Havoc a bit, I do think I like this one more. So yeah, very great cast of characters. It was hard to, out of these 2, put people in lower rank than one of the higher ranks, but I think I managed. I think this quite accurately reflects my opinion. Naturally, you're gonna disagree with me. Please don't kill me in the comment section. It's free to, it's fine to have your own opinion on things and to disagree. Don't feel bad about it or anything. It's just my opinion, man. So I hope you guys liked it. What's your favorite or your top 3? Let's just give that top 3. What's your top 3 Danganronpa Happy Havoc characters? Leave that in the comments. Also make sure to subscribe to the channel. In case you want to see more like this. I will be doing a tier list for Danganronpa 2, Danganronpa V3, and then after that I'll probably do a general I love Danganronpa tier list. Gonna be a long ass video, I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, make sure to check me out on Twitch for all kinds of streams. I won't be streaming Danganronpa since I already played the game, sadly. But I will be playing all kinds of awesome games. And of course join the Discord, which is also down in the description, where we can talk about some more about Danganronpa or just general topics. It's a really nice community. Outside of the recently deleted channel that we don't mention. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and of course, have a nice day. Stardust Steele signing out. Have a nice day. Peace.